Hi, so my name is Jenny Beach, and this is my assignment for Module 5. Um, I am going under the assumption I am principal in Teton School District, looking at a host of different issues that we have as a district as a whole. So, this is a pictograph that I designed that I would present in my staff meeting, and I would go into detail about explaining everything, which is what I'm going to do now. And then afterwards, I would have them posted in specific locations around the school. I would have it in the teacher workroom. I would have it in the break room, different places. So our teachers would be able to have that mental connection between the information we discussed and the information that they see. Simple, quick information here, but it will have come after a greater discussion in a staff meeting. So here I designed continuous school improvement. What is our current reality? Um, I also personally like calling them what are our brutal facts? What are things that we need to really pay attention to? So I have graphed some of the information that we have, the data that we had gotten from a host of different issues. Our graduation rate is one, and Idaho and Teton in particular are on par with national averages. Our challenges are identifying the outliers and having engaging curriculum for everybody to stay on track and having following national standards, but also having um, appropriate course level for necessary development. So maybe something that we could work on is having a instead of an in-service electives for students, maybe having them connect with a trade and doing internship or apprenticeship as an elective course to kind of increase our graduation rate. The other thing, another one that we are focusing on is economic disadvantage. And Idaho and Teton is a little bit higher. So if you scroll over, it'll pop up. Idaho is a little bit higher in the economic disadvantage. 51% is national average, 72 is Idaho, 73.9, almost 74% is our school district as has disadvantaged students. So that is really a crucial bit of information I believe is really important. Again, identifying the outliers, finding the engagement in school, finding the interpersonal connections with individuals at school, food for the younger kids, food for the older kids, because sometimes the older siblings give their food to the younger siblings. As we migrate to more technology-based education, do they have access to technology, and therefore do they have access to the information? Again, you always want to look at the hierarchy of needs. If their basic needs aren't being met, their educational needs are never going to be met. The next one I want to look at is demographics. And if you look here, national average is 50% white, 27% Hispanic. Idaho is 87% white and 12% Hispanic. And Teton, our school district, is 78% white and 22% Hispanic. So we do have a greater disproportion between white and Hispanic. We don't have any significant other races that is less than 1% for anything else. The greatest challenges are ELL challenges. When students come into our school district, they are starting out lower just as a communication gap, as a language barrier, and that is huge. And we need to really make sure that by fourth and fifth grade, they are directly on par for everything else. Cultural issues, we have a huge racism issue, and that cannot be denied. And I put language down here because it's more than just ELL, it is social languages as well. This again creates that huge gap in achievement and engagement that I think is really crucial to not only our specific district, but our community as a whole, our greater cultural community. The next one was the AEP scores. So our data is telling us that our national average scores are 53 for language and 48 for math. Idaho is pretty close, 52.1 and 40.3. And Teton, ours were 43, which is low for proficiency, and 28 for math. So we are well aware that we are struggling in the math department. Whether we can make that more practical learning, like I said earlier, through internships and make it relevant to the students. Our challenges are what are the information they're getting? What funding do we have to increase that consistency? Is there a big language barrier? And then this is one that I am particularly interested in the students give a crap. what can we do as a school, as a school district, to increase the not desire, but the willingness to try in some of these testing. Our kids are not foolish. They are not dumb in any way, shape, or form. I think they are tested out. I think by the time they are taking these scores, we have given them plenty of test scores. I think another thing that I didn't put on here, but I will discuss with people, is access to technology. So a lot of these tests, every one that we do at our school that we give to students is on a computer. And I'm wondering if at a very early age, district wide, if we start implementing that computers are not games and they're not for games, but they're actually tools, and we focus that and we do that and we continue it and we push that, if that will increase so it is not, I am now bored and I no longer want to pay attention to what's going on the screen. The last thing that I really want to sum it up for my staff is, without continuous growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning, by Benjamin Franklin. I think that this really drives home the fact that this is a growth opportunity for everybody involved. Improvement and achievement mean nothing without continuously moving the benchmark and continuously trying to do more and do better. So our growth goals and our success and continuous improvement would base around, what are these challenges, how are we identifying them, and how are we implementing them in throughout our school day and throughout our school district. I believe this is a conversation that needs to happen in building and through the use of the data as benchmarks along the way. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I learned a whole lot about where we are in national average. So it was really quite informative for me. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.